Hi besties, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Tanner and this is my Esoterica, where I aim to bring you guys comfort and guidance from a place of comfort, aka my bed. This is going to be a timeless them and you reading for the sign of Taurus. So my aim for this reading, I should say, is for this to find you when you need it, when you're dealing with a certain person or situation. I find I tend to kind of channel twin flame messages, or the twin flame collective, as I myself am a twin flame. So yeah, again, it's my intention that this will be timeless and will find you when you need it. I just finished Scorpio's reading, and it's been about a week. I was telling them since I've actually filmed a video for my channel, so I was kind of getting my groove back a little bit with Scorpio's reading, but hopefully we're in the groove for you guys. So how this reading will go is we will clarify the energies surrounding you, your person, and the energy between you with a Wisdom of the Oracle card. Then I will pull both an archetype card and an animal spirit card, just to kind of see, you know, what energies you guys are embodying in particular. I find the Wisdom of the Oracles kind of better for kind of saying like the energies around a situation, but the archetypes and the animal cards are good for like where people are, like more personality stuff. So we'll pull those cards for you and your person. Then we'll do a 3-card tarot pull clarifying all 3 of those energies. Then I will further clarify those tarot cards, those three-card readings. That's what I meant to say. Maybe 333 is important or significant to you. But anyway, we will clarify those cards with 2 additional tarot cards from a different deck. So we'll end up with 9 3-card tarot readings. Then we will close off things with a channeled message from Spirit, just to kind of get like a final overview, kind of like parting message, what you need to know, that sort of thing. And then we'll do a final Wisdom of the Oracle pull for Spirit's advice for you. So I'm trying to get better at not talking in circles or, you know, beating around the bush. So we're just going to jump right into things here. Thank you for being here, Spirit, and thank you, my lovely Taurus viewer, for being here as well. I hope this reading resonates with you. If it does, you know, please do the like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. And yeah. I should also say that it is my intention that your energy will come out on this side and your person's energy will come out on this side, but the energies may be switched around a little bit. So if you find yourself resonating more with who I'm saying is your person, but it's really more you, or you feel that it's you, then like please take it for you, and maybe this side is your person. But yeah, all that to say, the energies could be mismatched. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, but hopefully it's something that does resonate with you. So thank you so much, Spirit, and to all my guides and guardians and angels that are here and helping me out with this reading. Can we please get 1 card to show us where our Taurus viewer is right now? What energies are surrounding them when it comes to this situation? Clean it up. So it seems like you're kind of ready to get rid of all the mess and yeah, kind of be free of the chaos from it. I'm going to read also from the guidebook too, because I find sometimes the messages aren't exactly what I think. But that's the sense that I'm getting just right off the bat. You're kind of in this clean it up, get rid of the mess, you know, trying to breathe again, like trying to rise above the madness and the clutter. Thank you, Spirit. Can we please get 1 wisdom card for our Taurus viewers' person's energy, please? What energy is currently surrounding them when it comes to this situation? Observer. So that's come up before. It's kind of like taking a step back from things and like in order to gain a better perspective on it. Again, we'll read from the book, but right away I see that your person probably is not taking kind of any action towards you. They've taken a step back. So yeah, that's what I see for your person right off the bat. Let's check the energy between you. What's the energy between my Taurus viewer and their person, Spirit? What is the energy between Yang or Yang, however you want to say it, But taking action, this is divine masculine energy, you know, going for what you want, not sitting around and waiting for life to kind of take the reins for you. You're kind of taking your power, or you know, that's the energy between you. Action, not waiting anymore. So we'll clarify those things further. But first, let's read from the book. Let's read Clean It Up, which is your energy. So getting to the core of a situation, freedom from a burden, cleaning house, sweeping away what is no longer needed. So the oracle's message here is, ever feel so bogged down with emotional gunk that you can't think straight? Could you be surrounded by physical clutter in your home also? Too much work, overwhelmed? Time to clean house. Every item out of place natters away at you. Every unresolved resentment, every comparison to others that leads to a sense of lack takes up energetic space. So yeah, I feel like you're just kind of trying to clear out the energetic gunk that this situation has sort of brought into your life. Every unresolved resentment, every comparison to others that leads to a sense of lack takes up energetic space. Every unpaid bill just adds to an unnecessary feeling of being overwhelmed. So you have been feeling overwhelmed by the situation, this connection, or the things that it's brought up for you, triggers and shadow sides and stuff like that. So now is the time to free yourself by energetically cleaning house. Just do it. Make room for the miracles that are lining up for you. So the relationship message here is time to clear the air, take a look at your side of the street, and say what's on your mind. Sweep away the old stuff so that a spring breeze can flow through with new energy. It's the perfect time to do an inventory of your dynamics and see what's yours and what's not yours, to clean up the relationship. Everyone brings some baggage. Sort through what you brought with you and let go of what is no longer needed. Become unencumbered and your relationship will flourish. So yeah, again, this is kind of saying like we all bring baggage to our relationships, and especially if this is a divine connection, they have a tendency to trigger our wounds and you know, all the things that we thought maybe we had healed already, but these kind of connections tend to bring them up in really surprising and overwhelming ways. So I feel like that's probably the energy you're in. Like this relationship, this connection has really triggered all of the kind of like dirt and dust and everything that's kind of like settled in your home, in your energetic space, in you, I should say. And this relationship where you are right now you're cleaning up all of the gunk, like all the dust that's been kicked up right now, or recently in this situation is you're working on clearing it out and kind of elevating and rising above it. So I love that for you, Taurus. That's great energy to be in. Let's look at your person's energy, this observer energy. This is number 49. So observer, perspective, objectivity, neutral observation from a distance. So again, not really a sense of action. This is more of, you know, taking a step back and looking, watching from afar. It kind of gives me Four of Swords energy. So the oracle's message here is most people see the world through a personal lens. They closely identify with their feelings and experiences, so much so that they come to believe that these are the only reality. There are times when you need distance in order to gain perspective and understand your circumstances from a more neutral vantage point. Now is one of those times in your person's life. This is a perfect moment for you to begin to do some exploring. Instead of only considering yourself, consider what you need. This is your person again. Consider what you need to understand about the conditions, people, culture, and environment you're engaged with now. You'll be so happy you did. Illumination is the miracle you seek and will indeed find. So it seems like they're also kind of taking stock of their surroundings and the people around them, the situations around them, and maybe they're starting to gain some clarity around those scenarios as well, as you know, taking a step back from you and gaining clarity about your connection. Sometimes if this is a divine masculine, if you resonate with the twin flame thing, they often need. And again, this is not a gendered reading. We all have this masculine and feminine energy in us. And but they have to sort of process the connection in their own time, in their own way, and a lot of that tends to be logically speaking, and not they don't masculines, again, energy, not people, they tend to lead with their mind, not with their heart, unlike the feminines who lead with their heart and not so much with their head. So yeah, the relationship message here is sometimes you can't see the forest for the trees in your way. Feelings can get all jumbled up, and often you hear one thing when a person says another. It can be like an echo of an unresolved past experience dubbed over your conversation. Take time out before you react. It's likely the other person has no idea how his or her words have affected you. Again, that sort of triggering energy. It seems like you've both kind of done it to each other, which again is a hallmark of these sort of scenarios. Take a few steps back and lend understanding to the situation. Have faith in your connection and trust that you can come together. Take to higher ground now and cultivate curiosity about what you observe in yourself and others and in the landscape. You will find things much improved sooner than you know. So yeah, your person's kind of taking stock of where they are in life, how they feel about you after they've taken some space, and that's also caused them to kind of question what's happening in their surroundings. So, you know, truthfully, it seems like you both are on like the path when it comes to this sort of magical, or I mean, they do feel magical, but spiritual connections. The feminine gets triggered a bunch and often first. I mean, you trigger each other, but as the feminine, I know what you're going through, or have been going through, or are currently going through. They trigger, you guys trigger each other. For you, the feminine needs to heal wounds, you know, surrounding abandonment, of not being good enough, and, you know, all these things. For the masculine, they tend to have to kind of overcome the matrix and like what the world expects of them. And they have to learn to follow their heart and not their head. So it seems like you guys are on the correct, you know, paths of this journey. So the energy between you is yang or yang. Again, that's masculine energy. That's new beginnings. It's number one, so certainly new beginnings. But yeah, it's this energy of starting something. So let's see. Yang. Essential meanings: the masculine principle of movement and creative activity, the power to make things happen and taking action. So the oracle's message here is Yang represents the power of action, the energies that propel the world forward in manifesting thought and desire into concrete form. Now is the perfect time to act, for you can easily build momentum and make headway. So maybe maybe you guys have both done enough healing that you kind of triggered a reunion of sorts. If you're looking for signs and synchronicities, for me, whenever a reunion is close, I see angel numbers everywhere and I see my person's name everywhere. So pay attention to any signs or synchronicities like that, and that could clue you in as well. But immediately I get, you know, new beginnings, taking action, like, and this is the energy between you. So I feel like there is a new start on the horizon. But we'll know more when we get into the tarot and stuff. What you want will come to fruition if you proceed confidently. This card signifies new life and is a sure sign that obstacles have been overcome or are being overcome currently. There is no reason to hesitate. You are the shaper of your destiny now. So the relationship message here is circumstances are supporting action on your part, supporting action between you. It's okay to make the first move. Trust that you will quickly know where you stand. In matters of the heart, there is movement toward your highest good. So go forth with assurance. Passion is in the air, and now is the time to dance to the tune of love. Take the lead. So yeah, I see, you know, this energy between you. There is this spark, there is passion, there's fire energy, and new beginnings, and like, you know, not letting things stand in your way anymore. I feel like, you know, that's the energy you're both kind of getting to. So that's beautiful. I love that for you both. Let's go ahead and pull an archetype for you and an archetype for your person. Thank you, Spirit. Can we please get one? I have to really drive home the one, because this deck loves to give me like 30. I think part of it's the circles, but I do love this deck. So thank you, Spirit. Can we please get one archetype card for our Taurus viewer? What archetype are they currently embodying right now? Thank you. Again, just one, please. Oh. The Sustainer. So this is all about kind of, in some ways, it's kind of dealing with the day-to-day of life. In this deck, the Sustainer, the archetypes, there's archetypes. No. So in this deck, there's the Creator, the Sustainer, and the Destroyer, and they are all kind of part of one kind of archetype pack of things. So we have the Creator, source, someone, the person who makes things, the Sustainer who keeps things going, and then the Destroyer who destroys things so something new can come forward, right? So right now you're in the energy of the Sustainer, which is kind of dealing with the day-to-day stuff. Again, with Clean It Up too, I feel like this is just kind of like, you're just doing the best you can to get through the day-to-day stuff, while kind of dealing with your triggers as they've come up, and you're trying to cleanse things energetically again. And you're kind of doing that by focusing on what you can focus on in the day-to-day, so things can keep progressing forward for you. We'll read from the book as well, but let's get your person's archetype. Thank you, Spirit. What archetype is our Taurus viewer's person in currently? What archetype are they currently embodying? Thank you, Spirit. Again, just one. We can hope. What energy is our Taurus viewer's person currently in? Or currently embodying? See how it gave me 3 of them? But we have the Lover, the Destroyer, and the Seed. So it feels like, I wanted 1, but I'll take the 3. So the Lover is all about, somebody who wants to wear their heart on their sleeve. It gives like Page of Cups energy to me. I mean, the artwork here is beautiful too. It's also a swan. Swans are, they partner, I believe, for life. I might be wrong about that, but I don't think I am. And it's funny that you got the Sustainer, and I was just talking about that 3, the Creator, the Sustainer, and the Destroyer, and your person got the Destroyer. So you got the Sustainer, and they got the Destroyer. So it seems like, they are kind of annihilating or getting rid of all of the things that don't serve them and in their purpose, or, in this connection. They've been observing. They've taken a step back, and they're assessing their world, their relationships, all of that stuff. And they're letting go of what is no longer serving them. And with the Seed, they're planting a seed for something new to grow and emerge from it. So we'll read from the book, from the Archetypes Guidebook. For you got the Sustainer. So the Sustainer, the Peacemaker, the Upholder, the Preserver. The Sustainer, the second archetype in the trio of existence, that's the Creator, Sustainer, Destroyer, works behind the scenes, tending to the tasks of life. They cultivate gardens, pay bills, keep the meals warm, and the mouths sweetly fed. The Sustainer is at peace in the process of life, in cleaning it up, in the process of life, in the process of cleaning stuff up. Knowing there is no start or finish to humble yet meaningful tasks. They have a natural inclination to nourish others, to archive, maybe you're an achiever too, you're a Taurus, so it would track. Peace in the process of life, knowing there's no start to blah, blah, blah. They have a natural inclination to nourish others, to archive, to preserve Earth's resources, to consider environmental impact, to see their role in the divine cycle of life. It's common for the sustainer to become overworked, leading to resentment. Their tasks aren't glamorous, and therefore the sustainer rarely receives the credit or attention. The sustainer longs to hold things in place so badly, especially relationships, that they resist necessary change. Take time with this archetype. It is within us all and needs our love. So yeah, to me, it's what that reads as to me is that maybe you are feeling kind of overworked and you're kind of bogged down in the day to day. Kind of maybe you are doing a lot of cleaning, like literally, and taking care of people. And maybe that is how you feel, what you feel your role kind of is. And maybe you are feeling kind of overworked and a little resentful. But don't resist change. It says the sustainer longs to hold things in place so badly that they resist necessary change. But I feel like, you're doing the hard task of cleaning it up, of cleaning up all your energetic stuff, your triggers, your shadow work. But I feel like that is kind of what the sustainer is saying. Like that is the work that you're kind of embodying or like engulfed in at the moment. You are focused on clearing out your blockages. And that's truthfully what you need to do in these situations. That's exactly what they're made for. So for your person, let's look at the Lover. That's 17. The Lover, the heart, the beloved, the devoted. Pulsing through the heart of the Lover is gratitude. The Lover appreciates and experiences the world through the senses, reveling in beauty, song, art, music, sense, and sensuality. So maybe your person is kind of like an artsy kind of creative type too. This energy awakens at the tip of our tongue when we taste the sweetness of honey, kiss a lover, or speak gentle words to a child. The Lover lingers in foreplay, aroused not by the getting there, but by the slow merging of self and other. This energy is usually experienced for short periods of time, as in order to feel it, we must be fully present and awake, with no expectations or rules about what should be, which to me echoes this observer energy. Like they're learning to kind of release people's expectations of them and allow themselves to feel something and not be ashamed or feel judged by it. We must fully be present and awake with no expectations or rules about what should be. Rather, the Lover is in awe of what the world presents, reveling in the glorious details, grateful to savor every last drop of life's offerings. So, yeah, to me, the Lover and the Observer kind of go hand in hand a little bit. I think, them taking stock of where they are in their life and their relationships and, how much should they put stock in what other people think. Like, that's allowing them that's them giving themselves permission to really lean into the feelings that they do have for you, and toward this connection. um and then the Destroyer was next. um right before I read it, I'm gonna say that again, I think they are taking stock and they're getting rid of the things that they know aren't serving them anymore, or the people, or the relationships, or what have you. The Destroyer, the final of the three archetypes in the trio of existence, has necessary yet painful work to do in the world. Culturally, we have an aversion to endings, and we hang on to permanence as a signifier of success. Yet the Destroyer pulls the rug out from underneath relationships, jobs, homes, and all forms of security. It's the part of us that wants things to end. Its painful orientation is to uncover our true purpose. The Destroyer does not let us linger long in comforts, as it knows not much happens in that realm. With its piercing eyes, it seeks out stagnancy from a distance, observer, and the rest becomes history. In the old myths, this is the moment when heads begin to roll, the ground opens up, and castles crumble. Hold on for the ride, the Destroyer has arrived. So yeah, they're making changes, is what I see, and they're ready to start and plant something new with you. Sorry, I blocked the bottom, but with the seed energy, which is all about nourishing something and doing the hard work if you want to see it grow. but we'll look for the seed. That's 46. The Roman numerals are hard. It's like LXVI. I'm like, it's been a long time since I took any sort of Latin or anything where you'd learn these letters. Okay, but I found the seed. The seed, the beginning, the origin, the pearl. Beginnings come in many forms. They are not always a beautiful seed placed intentionally in nourishing soil. Origin stories, like any birth story, are complex, surprising, multi-layered, and usually reveal a central image or detail that represents the fully formed being. Simply stated, the end is present in the beginning, or the entire oak tree resides within the acorn. Whether you follow this imaginal theory or not, know that when this card appears, there is potent generative energy all around. It stirs your very insides and usually results in an antsy, impatient feeling. Pay particular attention to what agitates you, as it is a sure sign of growth to come. Observer, taking stock of the people around them, destroying, getting rid of things that aren't serving them, letting themselves lean into this love that they have. Okay, I'm seeing things are starting to come together. It stirs your very insides and usually results, pay particular attention to what agitates you, as it is a sure sign of growth to come. You are bumping up against a growth edge. It is from the grit that the pearl eventually comes to be. So yeah, your person is going through, you know, they're getting rid of the things, they're taking stock, they're figuring out the things that don't serve them ultimately, and they're getting rid of it, and they're at the process of, they're at that growth edge of taking the leap and taking that next step. But this is a necessary part. Before you can start again, you kind of have to let go of all the old stuff that's holding you back. And I think that is what your person is doing right now. So beautiful energy for both of you, honestly. Let's go ahead and pull some animal cards, one for you and one for your person. Thank you, Spirit. Can I please get one animal card for our Taurus viewer? What energy are they currently embodying? What animal spirit are they currently embodying? The Lamb. I'll read it from the book in a second, but I'm going to grab your person's card as well. Thank you, Spirit. Can we please get one animal card for our Taurus viewer's person's energy? What energy are they currently embodying right now? The Vulture. I know that's all about purifying things. So what, the Destroyer, the Seed, the Observer, what did I say? Anyway, for you, my beautiful friend, you got the Lamb. So this is earth energy, again, focused on the material world, the day-to-day stuff. Getting rid of your energetic blockages. The Lamb, here we go. Peaceful, prophetic, and patient. The Lamb is a bearer of an important message. Its contents can only be heard when a deep level of quiet has been established. Lamb energy is the honest guidance you hear from an old friend, a young child, or sometimes a surprising stranger. Though the Lamb's message may channel through another person, the wisdom resonates within you. It will repeat and reverberate until you listen. Approach this gentle creature with utmost patience and reverence. Truth is a gift. Sit still, listen, and receive. So this is all about kind of, it says when in balance here, there's a knowingness and an inner peace. When out of balance, you tend to be like quiet, timid, and concerned. And to bring things into balance, meditate and start kind of listening. So I feel like I think you're cleaning out your energetic blockages, your triggers and stuff, and that's allowing you to kind of like bypass the ego and what the ego is telling you, how you should feel, how you should be, what this person should be doing to show that they care about you, all this sort of stuff. I think, at the end of the day, people can only meet you where they're at currently. And sometimes people just aren't in a place to meet you where you are. I think your person is coming to the realization of what's been holding them back in their world. And you're cleaning out your your energetic blockages, right? And that's allowing you to finally kind of find a quiet sort of peace in yourself. You know, you're letting go of the chaos. You're focused on, you know, getting through the day-to-day stuff. You know, this, if you have been triggered really badly by this connection, then it takes a lot of work to go through those and deal with those triggers. I had to go back into therapy when I met my twin flame. So, you know, find that inner sense of calm. You know, keep, you know, airing out the triggers. You know, keep doing the work that you're doing. I think, but again, I think it's leading you to a sense of inner peace and like a knowing. I feel like, you know, it's helping you again bypass the ego, elevate more, and live more from your soul's vantage point than your ego's. For your person, we have the vulture. Guardian and purifier, like I said, essential for rebalance. The vulture is perhaps the most misunderstood creature of all. This intriguing bird balances our ecosystem and prevents the spread of disease. It does the dirty work that no one else wants to do and cleans up our messes. The vulture appears when there's a situation that needs to be purified or brought back into balance. Remember, the vulture is greatly undervalued. What you thought was a mistake or tragedy is a blessing in disguise. So when in balance, the vulture clarifies and reveals wisdom. When out of balance, they can be dramatic and aggressive. And to bring into balance, it just says clean your space and, you know, do sage. So maybe your person needs to clean their space too, and like you need to do, or like you are doing. I think they need to do that too. Clean it up, I should say. So yeah, your person again is dealing, you know, observing the people, the situations in their life, and they're kind of getting rid of the things that don't serve them anymore. They're purifying stuff, and they are, you know, standing at a growth edge. They're planting a seed of, you know, they're growing. They're at the edge of growth. Um, their growth involves, you know, taking stock of the people around them, and they're allowing themselves to open up to this lover energy. Um, yeah. And you are, you know, doing your work. You are cleaning out your triggers, and you're finding a sense of inner peace and balance in the journey so far. So we love that for both of you. We're going to go ahead and get into the tarot now. Let's start with your side, with your clean it up energy. Thank you, Spirit. Can we please get 3 cards for our Taurus viewers' energy? Please further clarify what we have so far. Ace of Wands, so a new beginning. Passion, excitement. The Page of Swords. So also sort of like taking stock of things. Page of Swords is kind of, you know, very curious. He's on guard. He's like scoping and scouting, but you know, he's the Page of Swords, so he's very logical. He's very wise. He's very honest and forthcoming. Thank you, Spirit. Can we please further clarify our Taurus viewers' energy? Our Taurus viewers' energy. There we go. One more card, please. The World, which is the end of cycles. Cleaning it up, letting things go, so you can start over, you know, start a new journey with everything that you've accumulated thus far, you know. We'll talk about it more in a second, but I'm going to pull the cards for your person's energy and then for the energy between you, and then we'll talk about it. Thank you, Spirit. Can we please further clarify the energies on our Taurus viewers' person's side? Thank you, Spirit. 8 of Pentacles. So certainly working on something, trying to better themselves. Thank you, Spirit. Oh, the Moon. So dealing with confusion and, you know, illusions, not seeing stuff 100% clearly. Thank you, Spirit. Can I get one more? Ooh, and the King of Cups. It's lover energy as well. But the King of Cups is all about emotional balance and maturity. Stepping into your power, leading with your heart. Listening to your intuition with that moon there too. Okay, thank you, Spirit. Can we please further clarify the energies between our Taurus viewer and their person? The Hangman. Interesting, because we have Yang energy, which is all about, taking action, right? But then the Hangman is all about pausing and waiting and, getting a new perspective on something. So that's very interesting. I'm sure things will become clearer when we have the full spreads out. But thank you, Spirit. Can we please get 2 more cards for the energy between our Taurus viewer and their person? Thank you, Spirit. King of Wands. So that's fire energy, stepping into power, um, fire sign energy too. So fire signs could be significant. Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. One more card, please, Spirit, for the Chariot. It's moving forward with, power and certainty and all that good stuff. So right off the top, you got the Ace of Wands, the Page of Swords, and the World. So it seems like I should say that you have had some sort of divine kind of spark, some sort of inspiration, a realization about something. Because wands are all about power as well. So I feel like this could also be saying that you're kind of finding your power again. You're finding your inner spark again, as you're focusing on, clearing out and, dealing with your blockages and stuff. The Page of Swords here, again, Page of Swords is all about curiosity, taking stock of things too. This very Page of Swords energy. Yeah, scoping out the area ahead, cutting through the clouds that are up here. All of the court cards have clouds in the background, and that's represents like cutting through mental fog or confusion. So yeah, I mean, with that cleaning up energy, I certainly see that you are, in this energy of taking stock of your triggers and stuff. And with the World, you are about at a place where you're kind of finishing up this cycle and ready to step into, the next part of your journey, or like start all over again with everything that you've learned, and like releasing your burdens, releasing everything that's come before you, and just kind of letting yourself be born again. That's what the World sort of represents. And I think, that's very apt, with what the energy has been saying. Like you're finding like your inner sense of peace and stillness and quiet with the Lamb. But you're working towards, clearing out your blockages. You're taking stock of things. And I think, you're claiming your power again with this Ace of Wands. I really feel like that's what I get from this, more so than like any of the more traditional meanings. I mean, this is certainly a spark of inspiration, drive, like, yeah. And I think you have both of those things too. But really, I see this hand just grabbing this wand, and I'm like claiming power. Literally, that's what I get. Your own power, claiming your own power. For your person, they have the Eight of Pentacles, the Moon, and the King of Cups. Ooh. So certainly working on something, themselves. I think, wanting to better themselves, wanting to, it's like a sense of mastery. They're working hard on them on themselves. That's what I get here. They're purifying stuff again. They're also taking stock of their world with this Observer card. You're taking stock of your internal world, I get, and they're kind of taking stock of their external world. With the Moon here, there's, a sense of, it has, the Moon has a few meanings. It's like confusion and, not seeing things clearly. But it's also the card of intuition. And, because the Moon is all about intuition. And with the King of Cups here, I feel like your person is coming into a sense of emotional balance and stability by way of learning to listen to and trust their intuition, if that makes sense. I think their intuition has been telling them, you know, kind of inkling at them about all of the things that are holding them back. Um, and they're starting to come to these realizations on their own. Well, not on their own because their intuition is leading them. But all of that to say, I think they're at a point where they are finally able to listen to their intuition because they've been taking stock of their world and of the ways that their external world is holding them back. And they're realizing that if they really want to go past this growth edge with the seed and purify stuff, you know, and fully be able to embrace this lover energy, which again is also, you know, very king. It's just very cups coded in general, the lover. That, you know, they need, they like, they, it's like they have to focus on what their heart and their mind is telling them, because they know that their physical world is out of sync with them, with where they are right now, if that makes sense. But again, with the king, you know, it's emotional maturity and mastery. And, you know, again, the highest form of love, the highest, you know, a balance of head and heart here. So again, your person is purifying stuff, you know, getting rid of what doesn't serve them anymore. And they're coming into this place of emotional power and balance. That's what I got for that. Okay, so for the energy between you, we have the Hangman, the King of Wands, and the Chariot. So with the King of Wands and the Chariot, this is very reflective of the Yang energy, the going after what you want here. You know, the King of Wands is fire energy, and you know the Chariot is all about willpower and moving forward. So when it comes to this connection, I do get the sense that there is, you know, a really strong sense of something moving forward here. But at the same time, it's like, you know, instead of the waiting part of the Hangman, what I get from this now is that a change of perspective has taken place for both of you. And, you know, I do get that. Again, you're changing your perspective on your inner world, and they're changing their perspectives on their outer world. So I think, yeah, what this Hangman energy really is saying is that a change of perspective has taken place for both of you guys, in your own ways, for your own highest goods. But you know that's going to be what allows a new beginning to kind of take shape, um, because of this new perspective you guys are gaining about yourselves. When you guys do come back together, I see that, you know, one, there's going to be, you know, the highest form of heat that there is. You know, the wands are a very phallic set of, you know, cards. So they represent passion in, you know, in that way. And the king is the King of Wands, so he's like the king of that energy. Um, and then again, the Chariot's all about moving forward with, you know, purpose and commitment, and not letting things stand in your way, which the Yang energy, I believe, also talked about in the book there. So yeah, between you guys, you know, there's changing perspectives on both ends, and, you know, a lot of passion, and a sense of claiming power and moving forward in it. Um, so I feel like, you know, also you both are coming into your power in your own ways. You're doing it again internally, and they are dealing with they're getting rid of what's holding them back in their external environment. Very, again, divine feminine, divine masculine coded. That it seems to be the feminines are the ones that have to really deal with their internal blockages, a lot, and the masculines do too, but I feel like the feminines don't care so much. Like the masculines, you know, shedding of things often has to do more with people's expectations of them. And so they have to kind of clear the air of the people, like the air around them. They have to clear the air around them of the people who are contributing to that caged way of thinking and being, you know? The feminines don't tend to have that as much, I don't want to say. I mean, sure, you know, you'll have people be like, oh, that man's toxic, that person's toxic. I don't want to gender the reading. Let them go. But when you have a connection, if this is a twin flame connection, it really is it's just otherworldly, and it's hard to explain it to other people. Because on the surface, it does look very toxic a lot of the time, but like there's so much more under the surface for it. So, all of that to say, I see some sort of forward movement happening. Both of you kind of claiming your power in some way, shape, or form. I mean, you're doing it in the forms we talked about. Again, you're cleaning out your inner world. They're clearing out their external world. But again, sense of moving forward of, you know, yeah, a sense of moving forward. Okay. So we're going to further clarify all of these cards with 2 more cards, and then we'll do our final channeled messages, our final piece of advice for you, and then we'll be all done. Okay. Thank you, Spirit, for all of your guidance and help so far for our lovely Taurus viewer. Can we please further clarify the energies of these cards? Starting with the Ace of Wands on our viewer's side. Can we please further clarify the Ace of Wands on our Taurus viewer's side? 10 of Pentacles, 7 of Wands. Okay. I'm going to pull all the cards and then I'll try to talk about them all. Well, I will talk about them all, but thank you, Spirit. Can we please clarify this Page of Swords energy for our Taurus viewer? 4 of Cups. The Chariot again. So that's popped up twice. So there is sort of definitely the sense of moving forward. Oh my goodness. Cards just falling out everywhere. All right, thank you, Spirit. Can we please further clarify the world energy here for our Taurus viewer? Please further clarify the world. The 9 of Cups. Didn't quite come out. And Death. Okay, thank you, Spirit. Can we please further clarify the energies on our Taurus viewer's person's side, starting with the 8 of Pentacles? Can you please further clarify the 8 of Pentacles? Thank you, Spirit. Knight of Cups. And the King of Swords. Interesting. Thank you, Spirit. Can we please further clarify the Moon on our Taurus viewer's person side? That's a mouthful every time I say it. Thank you, Spirit. Please further clarify the Moon energies here. The Knight of Pentacles. So we got the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles on your person's side. So it's certainly coming towards you. And the 2 of Swords. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. Can we please further clarify the King of Cups on this side? I don't even want to say that whole thing again. The World on their side too. So I definitely get mirroring. I feel like you guys are certainly mirroring each other, and especially, you know, with you working on your inner world and them working on their external world. It's like it is like mirroring to me, but it's like opposite mirrors, which are what, you know, the divine feminine and divine masculine are in essence, right? Just mirrored souls. Interesting, but so I definitely see some mirroring happening here. Okay, thank you, Spirit. Can we please further clarify this with 1 more card? This King of Cups in the world. I don't trust that one. We're going to shuffle, and if it comes out again, it comes out again. Thank you, Spirit. Can we take that back? One more card to please clarify the King of Cups and the World for our Taurus viewers' person's energy. Thank you, Spirit. The Star. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. Can I ask my question? Okay. Can we please further clarify the energies between our Taurus viewer and their person, starting with the Hanged Man? Four of Swords. Which again, this is kind of emphasizing the waiting part of the Hanged Man. So that's interesting. But it also, I'm going to finish the cards and then I'll talk about them. I can get ahead of myself very easily. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. One more card for the energies between. Oops. Thank you. The Nine of Swords. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. Can we please further clarify this King of Wands energy? Page of Pentacles. Okay. One more. Ten of Wands. Thank you, Spirit. One more time. The Chariot. Let's further clarify the Chariot here. Thank you, Spirit. Seven of Swords. Thank you, Spirit. Three of Wands in reverse. Interesting. All right, let's get into it here. So with the Ace of Wands, it was clarified by the Seven of Wands and the Ten of Pentacles. So the Ten of Pentacles is all about kind of lasting stability and longevity and, you know, building something that's going to last, that lasts generations, right? And the Seven of Wands is all about perseverance and not giving up and, you know, continuing to fight for and defend the things that you want. So with this Ace of Wands, with this sort of like inspiration, with this taking your power back, like I was talking about before, I feel like you're really kind of doing the work that is setting up, like you're taking back your power and setting the stage by clearing out all of your blockages and stuff, and, you know, letting yourself sit in this, in, you know, the inner peace and silence that is coming from doing that work. You're taking back your power and allowing yourself to, you know, build a solid foundation for yourself within yourself. And I'm not talking, I mean, like, yes, emotionally, of course I'm talking about that. But the Ten of Pentacles is all about long-term success, setting up stuff for the long term. So I feel like you're setting yourself up for, you know, going the distance with yourself. You know, you're learning what you need to learn and releasing what you need to release so you can live with yourself. Not even really about your other person, but so you can find strength and stability and take your power back within yourself. And I think with the Seven of Wands, I feel like that's something that you've definitely, you know, it's been a challenge for you to do. It's a challenge for all of us to face our shadow sides, right? And our attachments and things of that nature. But I see that, you know, you're persevering through it. You know, you're not giving up. You're fighting the fight and you know, holding on to your power, which is exactly what you should be doing. So, you know, don't give up. Keep fighting that good fight, that good internal fight, because it is leading you to a place of lasting stability within yourself. Moving down to the Page of Swords, it was clarified by the Four of Cups and the Chariot. So the Page of Swords was all about taking stock of, you know, your internal world, right? And I think the Four of Cups here, this is all about kind of focusing on the things that keep you stuck, sort of. This guy here, he's so focused on the Three Cups he has right here that he seems to be kind of upset with or kind of apathetic about, that he's not even noticing the new emotional opportunity that the universe is trying to present to him. So I think confirmation burp, excuse me. Another one. I apologize for that. But anyway, so I think this is like, literally, this is like emotional stuff that he is taking stock of. So I feel like that's the energy that's with you right now. You are taking stock of all of the things that have made you upset in the past. And I feel like if I had gotten these two by themselves, maybe I would think that you'd be stuck in this and not allowing, not allowing the good to come in for you. But the third card you got was the Chariot, which again is all about willpower and forward movement and momentum. So I feel like you're taking stock of your internal world, you're cleaning it up. I think maybe this is stuff that's been dragging you down for a long time. Triggers and all of that stuff that you've been carrying around with you for a long time, but you're not letting it do that anymore. You're cleaning it up. You're moving forward with it. You're clearing it out, and you're moving forward with power and conviction and yeah, determination. And with the World, I keep forgetting that I can't show naked cards on here. I feel like I've done it a million times, and I know YouTube's gonna flag me. I gotta get that under control. But anyway, so you got the World, and it was clarified by the Nine of Cups and Death. So the Nine of Cups, again, the World is all about completions of cycles, feeling fulfilled and renewed, and like you've elevated in some way. And with the Nine of Cups, this is the card of ultimate kind of self-contentment and happiness. So I feel like, as you're taking stock of your world and, all your shadow stuff, it is you're elevating spiritually and probably materially as well. But, all of this is leading to your ultimate kind of happiness and fulfillment in yourself. And you're kind of letting old things die, old ways of being, doing, existing, all the things that you've held about, like, you know, will I ever find love, that sort of thing. Like, you're letting all of that die, and you're making way for something new and beautiful to be born from releasing all of these things. And it's leading you to your happiness. Period. I don't even got to say anything else about that. So that's you. That's your energies. I hope something over there resonated for you. For your person, we have their Eight of Pentacles was clarified by the Knight of Wands, Knight of Cups, and the King of Swords. So what they're working on is, one, so I think they're working on. Hi, besties. Sorry about that. My phone died as we were moving on to your person's energy, but I'm determined to finish this before it dies again. So as we finish up your energy, we're talking about your person's energy. So they have the Eight of Pentacles clarified by the Knight of Cups and the King of Swords. And what I really get from this is that they're working on, like, sort of balancing their head and their heart in a way, right? Like, they do want to come towards you and offer you romance. That's what the Knight of Cups is all about. He's very dreamy. He's very in his heart. He lets his emotions lead the way. The King of Swords is kind of the opposite of that. He's more focused on logic and truth and, like, the objective truth, not what the heart is saying is the truth. So I feel like, your person is working on balancing these energies within themselves. Like, they want to come towards you and, like, feel, this is with the Lover too. They want to indulge in these feelings that they have for you, but they don't want to be, like, subsumed by them. They don't want the feelings to take over. their what they know they have to do to exist in the world. You know what I mean? So I think they want to step into their power here. They want to, you know, I feel like they want to strike a balance between like seeming like they're like being in control, not even seeming like it, because they do want to, you know, be in control of at least themselves, and you know, taking. I know what I'm trying to say, but the words didn't come out quite right. They are working on stepping into their power as a kingly energy, as a masculine energy, right? But they are trying to strike this balance between, you know, letting their heart lead them, but not letting it overtake them. I do see that they're still kind of like, again, they're taking stock of their world. This is what the King of Swords energy is all about too. But yeah, overall, I think they're working on trying to find a balance between, you know, staying in control as much as they can when it comes to this situation, staying in their masculine energy, but also, you know, providing something stable with the king, just in general, with any king. You know, kings are providers, they're protectors. They are, you know, smaller fragments of the emperor. So they have, you know, this divine masculine energy within them as well. Um, so it's balancing their head and their heart. I think that's the best way. You know, I've said it a million times, and I will say it a million more, I'm sure. But that's what they're working on. They're working on trying to balance their head and their heart. And with the moon here, they got the Knight of Pentacles and the Two of Swords. So we have a couple knights here, and knights are messengers, and they are, you know, kind of, they signal incoming communication. So I feel like your person does want to come towards you, just in general. But with the moon here, there's a decision they have to make here with the Two of Swords, and it's not one that they can really trust to make with their heart or with their head. Oops. I think maybe they're not trusting their heart, and maybe that's what's pulling them. Maybe it's their head and their heart. Yeah, they want to trust their intuition. Maybe they also are kind of confused. They just have some confusion about what it is they actually, like, what can they offer you? You know, yeah, I feel like they're also working on their material world too, because they want to offer you something, you know, stable. I mean, with the moon and the two, we got the Knight of Pentacles, and that is, you know, slow and steady progress. You know, working diligently towards a goal. So with the moon here, I feel like, you know, they're learning to lean into their intuition here. I mean, we talked about that with the King of Cups too, right? Um, yeah, I think they're learning to trust their intuition. It's kind of, it's hard for them to make this choice, because the Two of Swords only comes up when, you know, there's a struggle, an internal struggle between trying to do the right thing, or what you think is the right thing, or trying to figure out what the right thing to do is. But I think, you know, the woman on the Two of Swords is also wearing a blindfold, and blindfolds in the tarot are representative of having to turn inward and listen to your intuition. Um, so I think that's what your person is doing. And, you know, there is progress being made. It might be slow and steady. It might not be on your timeline, but it is happening, you know, behind the scenes. And that's kind of reinforced by both the Knight of Pentacles here and the Eight of Pentacles, which we discussed already. So I think your person is leaning into their intuition, you know, starting to come towards you, but they're still kind of clearing out all of the negative things that are surrounding them in their environment, and that are making them kind of reluctant, or maybe it has made them reluctant to take steps towards you in the past. Because again, they're hitting this growth edge with the seed. They're purging impurities and with the vulture. So I do see, they're learning to trust their intuition. They are coming towards you with the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups. So with the with the King of Cups here, we got the Star, which is all about renewal and hope and faith. And then we have the World, again, which also came up on your side. I feel like I said something about mirroring before, but this is, you guys are mirroring. So your person is kind of, I think, ending a cycle of, of letting all of these things, their surroundings, keep them locked in a place that they know that they don't ultimately want to be in for their highest self or their highest good. So they're reaching an end to this phase, this chapter of their life, because they've been doing the work, they've been observing, they've been destroying things that don't work for them anymore. And letting all of that past stuff go has let them enter into a phase of healing and renewal, rejuvenation, and hope. And that's leading them to a new place of emotional stability and mastery with the King of Cups here. So yes, we're going to try and talk through the middle energies, and then we're going to pull your closing messages and then your advice, hopefully before my phone dies again. So with this energy between you, again, we have Yang, all about kind of taking action, not really staying by the sidelines anymore, claiming your power. And this is the energy between you guys. So it seems like your connection is moving forward in a positive way and in a powerful way. The first card here that we pulled for you was the Hangman, and that's all about changing perspectives. And I think clarifying those, we got the Nine of Swords and the Four of Swords. So the Four of Swords, I feel like, is definitely echoing this Hangman's energy of, reflecting and, getting a changed perspective. With the Nine of Swords here, I feel like perhaps both of you have been maybe like replaying past events or, how things maybe went down between you. This is all about kind of staying up at night with, anxious thoughts, nightmares, worry, fear, depression, anxiety, all of those things. So I feel like all of this energy that you've both likely have felt at some point or another in this journey has caused both of you to take a step back at certain points and like really take stock. I mean, that's what you're both doing, right? Your person's taking stock of their outside world, you're taking stock of your inside world. So, meditation, contemplation, rest, recovery, that's all the Four of Swords. And that's what's causing or has caused this change of perspective for you both. Insofar as, instead of letting things just fester and be what they were, there is this energy of moving forward in a strong and powerful way. Which again we get with the King of Wands in the Chariot, which were your other two first pulls. With the King of Wands, we have the Page of Pentacles and the Ten of Wands. So certainly, a sense of struggle. I mean, taking stock of your internal world, taking stock of your external world, doing the work to cleanse yourself and release your shadows, doing the work to not let other people's opinions stop you from living your best life. Like all this stuff is hard to deal with. It's hard to work through. And like, I know plenty of times, I felt like giving up in my own journey. But if you look at the Ten of Wands here, you see there's a little house in the background here that this person is, making their way to, and they're almost there. They're almost at the end. So they're feeling really burdened and like maybe considering dropping those wands and saying, F it. I don't know if it's worth it. But with the King of Wands and the Page of Pentacles, I mean, the Page of Pentacles is all about, excitement and curiosity and also new beginnings, new projects and things of that nature. So I feel like, there is this curiosity that both of you feel in you know, you guys both want to see this relationship progress to something stable and solid. Um, and, you know, again, with this Yang and with the King of Swords, you both finding ways to step back into your own power. Again, with you, you're clearing out your internal stuff. With them, they're clearing out their environment. But, you know, there's strong passion between you. There is, you know, the sense of magnetic attraction. That's kind of what the King and Queen of Wands are all about too. Just kind of like this internal fire that people can't help but be drawn to. So I feel like that's how you guys feel about each other, that there is this magnetic, amazing kind of pull that you have to each other. And yeah, all that to say is that there is the sense of also moving forward in the connection. But the Chariot here was clarified by the Seven of Swords and the Three of Wands in reverse. So I feel like there is a moving on from perhaps this kind of energy of this deceptive energy. I don't know, maybe you caught your person in a lie, or they're, you know, they weren't being completely truthful with you, or maybe you guys weren't completely truthful with each other, since this is the energy that's kind of between you. And then with the Three of Wands in reverse, it's the sense of, you know, kind of being stuck, because the Three of Wands upright is all about forward movement and expansion and growth, right? But, you know, it popped up in the reverse for you here. So there's this sense of this energy of feeling stuck, of not moving forward, and this energy of feeling there's not quite, there's a sense of dishonesty. There's a sense of someone holding something back, or both of you holding something back. But since these cards were clarifying the Chariot, which is all about moving forward and moving past obstacles, and, you know, moving forward with strength and willpower and determination and all that stuff, I feel like you guys both are moving on from this sort of energy of feeling stuck, and, you know, letting, you know, deception in whatever way, shape, or form it's presented to you guys, either on your own or in context of this connection, you know, like lying to yourself about, you know, I'm not worthy of love and yada, yada, yada. Or, you know, maybe for your person, there's been people who have been lying to them, or, you know, talking to them and making them, you know, kind of talk themselves out of, you know, what they really feel for you. But again, with these energies clarifying the Chariot, I feel like there's a moving beyond feeling stuck, a moving beyond not seeing each other clearly, a moving beyond not being fully honest with each other. And it's like leaving these energies behind is what I get with the Chariot here too. So yeah, overall, we see that you, again, I've said it, you know what you're doing. You're clearing out all of your trauma and your triggers. You're finding your sense of inner peace and balance again. You're reclaiming your power, moving forward from the ways you felt stuck emotionally, perhaps by all the triggers and stuff that you're cleaning up. And you're entering into a new cycle of, you know, happiness and fulfillment by letting all of these energies that have been bogging you down, you're able to finally let them go and release them. And you have to examine these things to release them. They're not just going to magically up and disappear one day. It's very likely this connection entered your life, both of your lives, so you could trigger each other to grow in these ways. And it seems to be working. I mean, you and your person got the world on in both of your energies. So there is a sense of finishing one cycle and leveling up to the next. And that's happening for both of you, because it's in both of your energies, and it's also with the Chariot here, it's the energy between you. You know, you guys are moving forward. Yeah, from the places you've been stuck in. And it's beautiful and it's great to see. So I'm very happy for you, Taurus. I know it's been hard for you, but I think you're doing the work. I mean, you have the Seven of Wands here, and that's, you know, that's like fighting for your life, basically. And I know when you're going through these deep purges, you know, it feels like you're fighting for your life a little bit. but you're getting to a place of, you're finally getting to a place of, you know, finding that inner peace, that inner calm. And, you know, I think you're starting to finally be able to live authentically from your spirit and your soul, how, and not so much from your ego and your triggers anymore. And with the sustainer, that's the work that you're busy doing right now. Your person again is clearing out the people around them that make them feel, you know, people, places, situations, you know, they've taken a step back and they are examining the world around them and figuring out what fits and what needs to be purged and let go of and destroyed. Which, you know, I think is, again, you know, the people around them that are kind of blocking them from embracing this lover energy. That's just the matrix stuff. I think they're breaking free of the matrix stuff. And they're finding a new sense of emotional maturity and power, because they're healing with the star. They're healing, they're at the growth edge, and they're destroying things that aren't aligning with them anymore, so they can fully embrace this lover energy, so they can fully embrace this Knight of Cups energy and come towards you like they want to. And again, the energy between you, you know, I think both, this relationship has, again, put the fire into both of you to work on the things that you both need to work on in order to come together. But I do see, again, you know, forward movement. I don't necessarily see, I mean, your person wants to come towards you, and but I don't see other, like, I don't see like the Eight of Wands, or I don't see like the Lovers, or, you know, any kind of those big cards that would signal incoming communication. And I don't know if the Lovers would in that way, but you know what I mean. Like, I don't see any cards that are like, oh, something's coming soon, um from your person anyway. I think they're still working on healing and, you know, going past this growth edge with the seed. But the energy of your connection is progressing forward. So I think, you know, as you guys are clearing out your respective blockages, you guys are both going to enter the next level of the journey that comes with this connection. Yeah, so that's what I got. I think that's it, other than your closing messages. But yeah, that's what I have for you. You're doing good. Keep working on your inner stuff. They're going to keep working on purging the matrix, and this connection is going to move forward. And we'll see what the next step takes you. What the next, you know, step in the process is for you. But anyways, so we're going to go ahead and close off your reading now with a few channeled messages from Spirit, and then we'll get one final card for your advice, and we will leave it there. So thank you, Spirit. Can I please get one final closing message for our Taurus viewers' energy? What is one message, one thing they can take away that will, you know, help them out when it comes to this energy? Thank you so much, Spirit. Befriend the word polarize. That's so funny. That came out for Scorpio's reading too, for the energy between them. So befriend the word polarize is all about kind of not being afraid to take a stand for yourself, even at the expense of maybe alienating other people, because the truth of the matter is the people who are meant to find you and meant to play a role in your life, they're not going to be put off by you standing your ground and sticking up for yourself and for what you believe in. That's the gist of that card. I will read it from the book as well, but let's go ahead and get a card for your person's energy. Thank you, Spirit. Can we please get a card for our Taurus viewers' person's energy? One final closing message for their energy. Thank you so much, Spirit. Fill your cup with sacred giggles. That's also number 21. So that's the World card as well. It's finishing up cycles. you know, finding joy in the little things. And yeah, I'm going to read it from the book, but it makes sense. I'm pretty sure it makes sense with what your person's going through. Thank you, Spirit. Can I get one final message for the energy between our Taurus viewer and their person? Thank you so much. One final card. Woo. Creator Water. That's not really a closing message. So I'll pull one more that actually has a message on it. But we'll talk about what the Creator Water means. One more card. One step ahead is all you need, is the energy between you. That plus Creator Water, which is basically, the Creator Water just talks about embracing the element of water, so letting emotions flow, that sort of thing. But I'll read everything. So starting with your energy, befriend the word polarize. So befriend the word polarize. Display of your inner truth, bravery to share your personal flavor and your true opinions, movement toward a goal, opposing forces, transitions, growth, taking a stand, personal empowerment. So polarize isn't a bad word. Great leaders are not selling safe, usual, everyday ideas. It's time to bravely put your truth and your wisdom out on display in order to find those individuals who totally love what you're saying. Finding those soulful kindreds may mean that there will be others who disagree with what you're all about, and that's okay. It's time to get comfortable with this possibility and steer clear of any safely watered down vanilla choices that are meant to keep you palatable and liked. You are anything but average, so don't hide your powerful message from the world by trying to appeal to the taste of the masses. Growth and change are, by nature, uncomfortable for some people, and your particular brand of magic won't be for everyone. Your people will feel compelled by your authentic stories, courage, vulnerability, and honesty. Be courageous and allow your unique flavor of awesome sauce to shine through. You'll attract people who are fiercely in love with what you're up to, and your heart will feel so full that the light of the world will spill forth from your joy. So yeah, keep owning your triggers, keep examining them so you can release them, keep doing the work of that. And as you're discovering what your truths are, as you're purging these untruths, just don't be afraid to stand in them. Let your spirit, let that inner silence, let that inner critic die, and you know, stand in your power, hold your boundaries. Let this evolution take place with the world. I mean, it's leading you to, you know, a rebirth and, you know, happiness and fulfillment in yourself. So keep doing that work, keep standing up for yourself, and the right people will find you. And I feel like your person won't be able to help but be magnetized towards you because of that. For your person, they got fill your cup with sacred giggles. Again, this is the energy of the world. So, because this is 21. So, completion, the end of a cycle, closure, yada, 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 the world stuff. Yep, giggles. Childlike? Maybe. But there's deep magic to be tapped into here, so give them space to bubble up. You are entering a time of completion as a goal you have been working on is coming to a joyous and prosperous end. This huge accomplishment will have massive implications moving forward, and the whole world is opening up for you now. Go you. Dip your cup into the well of sacred giggles and drink up. It's time to revel in the afterglow of closure and success, and know that you deserve all the joyful prosperity that is coming your way. There is infinite potential on the horizon, so take time to do your success dance and to thank Spirit for getting you this far. This is not a time to play small and act as if it were nothing. Be proud of your accomplishments, as this is a time to say, heck yes, that was massive and I rocked it. Accept this celebratory love wholeheartedly and keep your eyes on the horizon for much more of this energy as you ascend anew. So yeah, your person is closing out chapters and cycles on their own, just like you are. And they're elevating. They are elevating. So let's go ahead and get the energies between you. So the first card we pulled that came out was the Creator Water. So here it says, water is connected to the emotions, being in flow and relying on your intuition. How many times have I talked about intuition here? It was mostly for your person, but still. This energy came out between you, and I feel like you need to follow your emotions and your intuition too, so you can continue to clear out your blockages. But anyway, it governs the germination of ideas and conception, and it lives in the realm of dreams and prophecy. The element of water is insightful, healing, and cleansing. How can your intuition be of use to you right now, and what happens when you allow it to restore your balance? How would your situation change if you fell fully into your emotions? How well are your emotions helping you right now? And in what ways can they heal your situation? Are there places that love is hiding, waiting to be found? Is there? That's for you guys to find out. Okay. But so that was the first card that came up for, to clarify your energies. The second one was one step ahead is all you need. So 1% better each day, determination, perseverance, forward movement. I mean, with the chariot here, that's crazy. Okay. So confirmation in that way. So today, take one small step ahead. Sometimes we worry about not making it to our destiny fast enough, not building our content quickly enough, or not being expert enough the moment we begin. That pattern of not enough, let that go, because one step ahead is all you need, sweet pea. Even overnight successes happen in stages. Learn to revel in lifelong learning and stepping, and trust those who walked before you, and who knew that the journey was more important than the final destination. Whether you are moving toward adding new skills to your toolkit or toward a giant dream you've just started to envision, whatever it is that you are building, determination and perseverance are mighty mindsets to adopt. This card also suggests that you are 100% worthy of sharing any steps that you've learned with others, even if you've learned them recently. And it doesn't sound like music, and if that doesn't sound like music to your soul, maybe it's time to start logging your steps and your progress to remind yourself how far you have come. When you string them all together, they become marathons of one step in front of the other, and the rhythm they create is your divine dance towards expansion, one inspired step at a time. So yeah, like I said, the energy between you, like the relationship, the connection is moving forward. There's this energy of things moving forward. You guys making it to the next step in your journey together. So let the emotions flow. I mean, both of you. That's what both of you need to do. Your person needs to, learn to balance their head and their heart by purifying, all of their excess stuff that's keeping them held back. We talked about this for what, an hour and some change. I don't need to go over it again. And I mean, you both are making progress, and you are clearing out your emotional stuff too. So yeah, that's what I got for you guys in this reading. Let's go ahead and pull your one final card for Spirit's advice, and we will go ahead and leave the reading there. Thank you so much, you guys, for being here and sticking with me for all this time. Again, I hope something resonated with you and that you were able to take, at least something away from this. If you were, again, please like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I hope to see you guys again in the next one. So thank you, Spirit. Can we get one final card of advice for our Taurus viewer? What is one final piece of advice that they need to take away from this situation? Thank you. One final piece of advice for our Taurus viewer. Building blocks. So keep focusing on yourself. Keep focusing on building yourself up. Lay your foundations. Get your foundations in place. Keep clearing out all of that negativity and, the stuff that you've been holding on to. Just keep doing it. Just keep working. Keep working on your building blocks. We're going to read it from the book, and then we'll leave it there. Building blocks is number 28. So, strong foundations, a beautiful work in progress. That's you, Taurus. Okay, the oracle's message here is, you have everything you need to cultivate an extraordinary life. This is a time when your focus needs to be on the foundations you build upon. Your work, your relationships, and your very being are underwritten by your values, ethics, morals, and core beliefs. Are they still true for you? Will they stand the test of time and serve as a solid grounding upon which you construct your life? Now you are making changes that will affect everything in a positive way. Your destiny is truly a remarkable and beautiful design. Good job, Taurus. I'm so proud of you. I'll read the relationship message too, and then we'll leave it there. All right, so when you see this card in a relationship, know that you are attracting new relationships into your life and solidifying the ones you already have by building them on the foundations of honesty, humility, clear communication, and a genuine desire to know one another. You are moving toward laying the groundwork for a relationship with a firm footing that will ensure it can withstand any storm. Long-standing relationships are also repaired and strengthened. You and the other person are stronger, wiser, and more powerful together than apart. So yeah, keep focusing on building yourself up, on, when, if something happens, you guys come back together. I want it, and I'm sure you do too, and I know Spirit does too, for you guys to come back together where you're both in a place of stability within yourselves and only worried about you and the other person, and not any outside influences for them, and not any internal triggers for you. So keep focusing on yourself, keep building yourself up, keep cleaning it up, keep cleaning it up, and you're gonna continue to grow and evolve. And you continuing to grow and evolve is causing them to grow and evolve, which is causing your relationship again to move forward to that next phase, right? So yeah, thank you again, Taurus, for being here. I appreciate you so much. I hope you took something away from that. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one, okay? All right, take care. Bye.